Meet HBM, High Bandwidth Memory. Regular RAM in your laptop is one flat chip. HBM is different. It is 12 to 16 layers of memory stacked on top of each other, like a tiny apartment building, sitting right next to the processor. Why? Because AI is incredibly hungry for data. A single AI server needs 8 to 10 times the memory of a normal server. Normal memory cannot feed it fast enough. HBM can. Here is the scale. NVIDIA's new Rubin GPU has up to 288 gigabytes of HBM per chip. Their flagship server packs 72 of those GPUs into a single rack. By comparison, your phone has 8 or 12 gigabytes total. And here is the catch. HBM is brutally expensive to make. One HBM stack uses 3 times the production capacity of a normal memory chip, 3 times the factory space, 3 times the wafers, 3 times the engineering. Margins on HBM are also 3 to 5 times higher than regular memory. So if you are Samsung, SK Hynix, or Micron, the 3 companies that make 95% of the world's memory, what are you going to make? The thing that prints money. This is where it falls apart for consumers. In 2023, AI used about 5% of the world's memory production. In 2026, AI is eating 20%. And the 3 big memory makers cannot expand fast enough to cover both. So they have to pick. Every wafer they make can either become HBM for an NVIDIA AI accelerator, or it can become regular memory for a phone, or a laptop, or a PlayStation. Guess which one wins? HBM is now sold out. All of it. SK Hynix sold its entire 2026 production months ago. Samsung, sold out. Micron, sold out. Their 2027 capacity is already getting locked up. And to make sure they keep their seat at the table, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are signing multi-year contracts paying premium prices, locking in capacity, hoarding. There is even a real-world deal called Project Stargate, a $100 billion AI supercomputer project, which alone could consume up to 900,000 DRAM wafers per month. That is roughly 40% of the world's total memory output. Now look at the numbers. DRAM contract prices jumped 55 to 60% in just one quarter. NAND flash, the chips inside SSDs, jumped 70 to 75%. Some specific memory wafers are up 9 times in 6 months. DDR4, the standard memory in millions of older PCs and servers, is up over 1,300% since April 2025. Not a typo, 1,300%. Goldman Sachs calls this the worst memory shortage in 15 years. SemiAnalysis calls it a once-in-4 decades event, and it is not a normal shortage. The factories are running flat out. The problem is that they are running flat out making the wrong kind of memory for you. Let's start with the easiest example, the PlayStation 5. PS5 launched in 2020 at $499. In August 2025, Sony raised it $50. In April 2026, Sony raised it again by $100. So the standard PS5 is now $649.99. The digital edition, $599. The PS5 Pro, $899. Consoles are supposed to get cheaper over time. They get cheaper as the parts get cheaper and the factories get more efficient. Sony went the other way, twice. In less than a year, Hiroki Totoki literally said it out loud on the earnings call. Quote, "Memory prices going up would increase the cost of the bill of materials. So manufacturing costs go up. If that gets passed on, there would be a big impact on console prices." And here is the worst part. Sony also told investors they expect to sell fewer PS5s in 2026 than 2025. In the same year, GTA 6 launches, the biggest game in a decade, and Sony is shipping fewer consoles because they cannot afford the memory to make them. Same story at Microsoft, same story at Nintendo. The Switch 2 is holding at $450 for now, but Nintendo's president has already hinted a price hike is on the table if memory pricing keeps climbing. Valve has paused launching the Steam machine for the same reason. The entire console industry just hit a wall. Phones are next, and honestly, this one might hit you harder. Memory used to be 10 to 18% of a phone's bill of materials. As of late 2025, it is around 20% and climbing. On a $500 phone, that is over $100 of memory before anything else. IDC is forecasting global smartphone shipments will drop almost 13% this year. Counterpoint says 12. That would be the biggest single-year drop in over a decade. The Galaxy S26 is reportedly going up because LPDDR5 memory got 16% more expensive. The iPhone 18 launch is expected to come in higher. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra is launching 10% above the previous generation. The cheap end is getting crushed. Counterpoint says the bill of materials for sub-$200 phones is up 25%. Nothing's CEO Carl Pei said it best, quote, "Brands now face a simple choice: raise prices by 30% or more in some cases, or downgrade specs. So here is what we are about to see. Cheaper phones with less RAM than last year, mid-range phones that no longer make sense, and flagships that just quietly get pricier every cycle. Some entry-level phones that finally got to 8 gigabytes of RAM in 2024 might actually drop back to 4 gigabytes in 2026, going backwards to save money. Now the PC side. This is where it gets ugly. HP just confirmed memory now makes up 35% of the cost of building a PC. A year ago, that number was around 20%, doubled in 12 months. Dell, Lenovo, HP, Acer, Asus. Every major PC maker has confirmed price hikes between 15 and 20%. Some are limiting how much RAM new laptops ship with, so they can still keep prices reasonable. A $600 laptop in late 2026 might ship with 8 gigabytes of RAM. 8 gigabytes. The same amount a budget laptop had in 2021. You will be paying 2026 prices for 2021 internals. Now graphics cards. Buckle up. GPUs use a different kind of memory called GDDR. The RTX 5090 uses GDDR7, the newest, fastest version. GDDR7 prices jumped about 40% in just 6 months. Why does that matter? Because on a high-end graphics card, memory is now 80% of the total parts cost. 80%. The GPU chip itself is the cheap part. The memory around it is what makes it expensive. The RTX 5090 launched at $1,999. Right now, even basic models sell for $3,000 to $3,500. Premium models well over $4,000. Korean reports say it could hit $5,000 by the end of 2026, and Nvidia is reportedly cutting production of its mid-range cards by 30 to 40% because they would rather sell the memory to AI data centers, where margins are way higher. AMD raised prices in January. Nvidia followed in February. And board partners now say price increases will continue month after month into the second half of 2026. Even your boring stuff is affected. A 2TB NVMe SSD that cost $100 in late 2024 now costs $300 to $500. An 8TB consumer SSD is now, by weight, literally more expensive than gold. So when does it end? The honest answer is not soon. Building a new memory factory takes at least 2 to 3 years and tens of billions of dollars. SK Hynix is expanding its M15X plant. Samsung is expanding in Pyeongtaek. Micron is building new fabs in Boise, Idaho, and Clay, New York. But none of them are fully online before 2027 or 2028. Even Nvidia's own CEO, Jensen Huang, said at CES that there is no quick fix. Every memory factory is gearing up at full speed, but demand is just too high. IDC says memory growth will only be about 16% this year. That is below historical norms. Demand is growing way faster than that. TrendForce projects another 40 to 45% price increase through Q2 2026. Goldman Sachs says the shortage runs into 2027. Some analysts say 2028, potentially longer. Here is the part most people miss. This is not a normal cycle. Memory used to follow a cousin of Moore's law, more capacity for the same money every year, cheap and abundant. That era is over. Memory has now turned into a strategic resource, like oil or rare earth metals. Governments are paying attention. South Korea has called HBM a national asset. The US CHIPS Act is pouring billions into new American fabs to lock in supply, and nobody is treating cheap RAM like a guaranteed feature of the future anymore.